In Jönköping, the casters made so much noise, had so much fun, that they actually blew the power out in the caster booth. And so they'll join me on the analyst desk instead. Pansy and Risk are hanging out here for the DreamHack Open. Once again, that's the trophy and 100,000 on the line as we venture into our third. This time, it is going to be back into Group A and the first for MOUZ and Immortals.
I'm so short.
I can't believe
I'm so short.
Maybe you didn't realise, Pansy's an actual legal little person. I think you're actually do you get like benefits?
Challenged.
Yeah, you actually get benefits for that, right? Must get something. Yeah, you're like 1 inch over the line.
It's the Scoots to bring me the box. He
gets a box. Yeah. I remember we did have a box for Caden, not Caden. He was giant. Who was it? We had a box for someone in.
Probably Chobra.
Yes, the small yet powerful host. Anyway, we've got some Counter-Strike and it is going down right now. They're on the stage, so I'm going to be loving you and leaving you after predictions. What are your expectations for this one? I think the desk had pretty much a coin toss for this one.
I think that's pretty much on point because these two teams are so close to each other. Yeah. I'm leaning MOUZ Sports because I like the way that they have structured their team.
Robs. He's a Robs fanboy.
Also Robs, but actually Robs is okay, Robs is fine, but I really like the way Oscar and Lau play in this team. Okay. And the way that they play around them. And you actually mentioned it on the desk, like, Oscar, he's so good, but in this team he's not actually mentioned as a star.
He doesn't need to be.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the best part of it, because that just shows how well structured they are, when Oscar doesn't need to top rank every single game.
The taming of the star team. MOUZ Sports have completely changed their story. Lauren, what's your call?
I've got to go with MOUZ Sports, just because they're purely within my radar more than their opponents. I get to see MOUZ Sports a lot more, and I saw them kind of grow through the Pro League once they got
them in Dallas as well.
Exactly, the Dallas edition and how well it did. It wasn't the deepest run that I think they could have gone on. I think there was a lot more to be seen. I'm hoping this is where we start to see them really peak in their LAN performances. I think there was a couple of moments where you saw that little bit of nerves in there, and not quite having the same sort of impact that they do in the online environment. So I'm hoping this is the event where they really just come into their own. Yeah. But it's a great improvement from what they were to where they are now.
And for me, I think I'll actually kind of join you as well, since we're all doing predictions. I think Immortals have looked mortal in some of their performances as of late. They definitely can bleed. It's not a pun. They have shown that they are not the most fantastic at times, but KNG, maybe he can wrap it together. You see him talking there. We'll leave it to you guys, though. The casters, Risk and Pansy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex. And yeah, we're going to be casting from here, but it doesn't mean any different for the action, because I assure you this is going to be a great game. I always like watching Immortals, as much as I am probably more favourable to the way MOUZ Sports play at the moment, because I saw that growth. I think that you look at Immortals and you see like Henny there, you see a lot of the power they bring. It's very hard to ignore that.
Definitely. And also, we have to take into account that Immortals right now, and they're not a team in shambles, but they're still a team that's like going through a reconstruction period, because they are playing with KNG, who came in, of course, from that Brazilian team who lived in Sweden, who was called Red Reserve before. Now he's in here with Immortals, and he's doing really well, but is it enough?
Well, I think it was during Dallas, when I first got to see what he could bring, he was actually bringing a lot of the firepower. Yes. Before, when Henny wasn't able, it was on Inferno, it was one of the first games they played during the group stage, and Henny wasn't quite there yet. They had a very tough game, and then KNG started to come alive, and you see this potential. But that was the first real event they had him in, so you could see them kind of having to deal with the fact of a new player comes in, you're always going to be slightly behind what you can really fully do. It takes a lot, even just to add one player, it changes a lot of the dynamic. So again, I think I was seeing a lot of the process there, and I'm just waiting to see the progression, right? From we've just added this new player to okay, now we're starting to really flesh ourselves out as a roster.
Definitely, and this is obviously what they came here to do in Jönköping in Sweden here, because they wanted to prove themselves that they can compete with the likes of course, the big brothers of SK Gaming and teams like that. But it is still yet to be shown, and this could be one of the tournaments that allows them to do this, and I'm hoping for it, because they are a team that's very fun to follow, also personality-wise, of course. They got everything going on, very likable team and everything, so of course you always want them to do well.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Map time being cobbled, though, it's weird, right? I look and I think this is a good map for Immortals. You start to think about Henny going off on this map, and it's hard to look past that. But then I know that MOUZ Sports have a lovely playstyle on this too, so I'm looking forward to them. I want to see if Dennis comes alive in this one. Robs as well, certain potential for it. And here we go, a quick hit. It looks like maybe it's split towards B, a bit of a 3-2, 3 down drop, 2 towards Platinum already. A bit of a passive hold from the Immortals, but a nice connection from Henny towards Dennis, and now Botsby under pressure, but plays up cool, none connecting though. How are they allowed to get away with this? Chris J sleeps over the rock, but it doesn't matter. They got the step towards the side, but nothing further.
That was really, really nice to see the whole day for Immortals on their bomb side, and
just making everything work. Even despite one of the players missing a couple of bullets and a terrorist allowed to go in almost towards the bomb site, they still lock it down because they have these kind of crossfires and they have all the positions mapped out. Everyone, and this again, this is the sign of everyone knows exactly what they're doing, because this is the round they've practiced a lot, so they know exactly what the positions are and if this push happens, what they're going to do as it happens. And now, once to, of course, win that pistol round, you're going to see MOUZ Sports buying some Tech 9s and maybe going for a bit of a train rush here again.
Yeah, straight down in towards drop, good pressure, but they back away well. Henny then tries to come in and support, but actually Christian overwhelms. But where do you go from now? This is where things get a bit tricky. It's like, well, we've got drop, guys. Right, what more can we do? The UMP's come alive in this one. KNG, they're going to be racking up the frags, so billing some good money for the Immortals side. And that is the general problem with the Tech 9 train strategy, is that when you get to a point where you have to go out into the open and face long-range weaponry, that strategy just doesn't work anymore. So you need to have a plan with that. You can just take drop and then say, okay, we're going to find out what we're going to do if we get to drop and when we get to drop, because then you're going to be locked out, as we saw here. KNG just mopping up. Yeah, good start for him so far, dealing with well. It seems like MOUZ Sports just literally want to get going quickly. It's rush everywhere, rush everything, and now clean eco. So just going to suffer through this one. Anything you get is a benefit. Any kills, even a bomb plant, brilliant. That's, you know, things that dreams are made of, but very unlikely.
So yeah, the Glock, of course, it's got long range and gonna have to get up close and personal against the UMP 45. That's not a good situation either. So, as I say that, Henny just gets dinked long range and is now on 57 HP, so take that back then.
Really, Immortals shouldn't even lose a player at this point.
Nope.
Drop becomes a bit of an issue if you maybe get caught reloading, if they overwhelm. But there's not even a single flash. That's the thing. Normally if there's like a flash or something, you might be able to catch someone off. But at this point, every single player from Immortals can back away from the position they're in. KNG doesn't need to overcommit here. Now you can see them trying to punish that reload. Brilliant pull back to the pistol. Crisp as you like. Very nice, KNG.
Yeah, you said it there, because he after getting that first kill, he could safely rotate back, but he just stays there because he knows he's up against the Nico, of course. That's kind of like the difference in a player in his confidence levels and his personality. Some players will take the frag and then rotate back because that is normally the clever thing to do, but other players have so much self-confidence in that situation that they just stay there. He goes pretty much pistol against pistol and still wins the duel, and that's awesome for him because he needs that confidence to keep on rolling because he is the new player on the team. Everyone's expecting something with him.
Yeah, and now looking at the back of me from MOUZ Sports, no AWP to be seen just yet, but a roster that can truly do well with AWPs is this team. Now, honestly, ROPS as well, a lot of people, oh, we got a little boost down towards the Titanic spot. Very nice. We'll come back to that. But a lot of people, when they first saw ROPS join his team, thought he'd just be purely like a power player. He does rerunning the FPL scene, but he very much himself discusses the fact that he's a bit of a lurker. He likes to play quite a smart approach. But I like this from the Immortals. They can leave that one player up on the boost just to keep full middle control and not have to worry about it too much. But they are getting real estate here, which is great. KNG's going to hear a lot of these steps, and Lucas will have to respond accordingly.
Let's see how they're going to make it work. Still one player on the opposite end of the bomb site for MOUZ Sports, as they are getting ready for the save take. So I would love for them to fake in towards B and then hit that A site right now, but it's not happening.
Well, KNG seeing nothing in middle might make them, I guess, just fully look towards long, which actually is a bit of a shout. Sadly for Lucas, he doesn't get the shot he wanted. Oscar already breaks in. Now he tries to respond. KNG just throws himself in there. It doesn't go too well for him, but that's steal coming through. That's the rotate player you want to be seeing coming up with the kills here. Down to the 3v3. Look at Rops' position. He's really trying to be, I guess, the cat amongst the pigeons at this point. He wants to keep them on their toes. And now you're going to see Henny trying to fight back. That's the shot you want to be remembering. And now it's 2v2.
So yeah, Lau and Dennis against Bolton and Henny. Only one flashbang between the remaining terrorists and a shot to be had, and it's going to be Lau.
Really like Law's position. Actually, the only downfall to that is the fact that you can get pushed from that middle section and you're very, very vulnerable. But you know you've got Dennis on the side, and that's a shutout. So well done to MOUZ to finally get themselves in this game. They seem to be playing not necessarily one-dimensional CS, but we haven't seen any like fakes, we haven't seen any defaults. It's been these kind of like all-in plays almost. It's been that very aggressive play towards long. We've seen a lot of the rounds are just pistols. We're like, just dive in, boys. But doesn't matter. It's 1-3. Immortals still have good money though. Double AWP going to be straight answered up. That's KNG picking that up with Henny.
This one's going to be interesting to see KG, as we mentioned in the short preview here, has of course played that AWP role before. The desk mentioned it as well, and he can play a very, very, very good AWP, and that's what he was known for. And now we also know that he can play a strong AK as well, being put into this team. So he's kind of like this all-around player that can do pretty much everything you put him on. And so far, 3-1. Can't argue against that. And Lucas in a position, if the terrorist decides to come in rushing, he has a teammate to do the refract if he dies. And that is the case, and now KG needs to come in, and he misses the shot and gets leg-shotted as well. So that was not how that was supposed to work out at all for Immortals. Now, the terrorists, they do have the map control, they have the one-kill advantage and the damage, and now Rob's coming in from drop zone, getting bolts as well.
That's a power play from Robs there. Already spotting the one by the window, knowing that there's going to be someone there, then getting the frag anyway. KG desperately looking for a way back into this. I think he might have spotted or heard the players running over towards B though, so hopefully he can just kind of call out to his teammates like, guys, get ready for this. You've got to be prepared for what's about to be coming your way. You can see how passive they're holding as well for Immortals. Very, very far back, one by Cooper. Oh, he gets caught, Oscar! Gonna find him, and now it's completely free reign pretty much for MOUZ Sports. Henny, you've got to dig deep, my friend, and find something to do with this one. Waiting. Oh, it just looks away at the wrong time. That could have been a bit of information. Now here we go. Christian runs out, gets a bit of a tag. Now the next player comes in as well. Oh my word, Steel's knocked down another. This was a 5v2. Rops, it's on you. You already did well by Drop, but there, finally takes down Steel. They know where the last man is. But try and get out of this situation is going to be tough. 15 seconds. The bomb is all the way over towards A. And he has to get past Rops to get this one done. He knows it as well, but I don't know, he'll guess the position he wanted. And right in the back, there it is, Rops. Great playthrough Drop.
And I'm not sure if my headset is working. I have no sound, but I can hear myself, so I should be good. No worries then. But yeah, that was a beautiful round coming in there, and MOUZ Sports bouncing back. And Rob's, of course, a player that everyone is talking about. Like, what can he do when he comes into the real situation here, and when he starts like getting into the game? And right now, of course, he's doing well. But Rob's in 6 months. How far can he go?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It's what more can he do? How far can he push this sort of career? Because we know individually what he's like, and you just watch him. I know Sponge is a big fan. If you ever see him on an analysis desk talking about this guy, he's got a lot to say about him, and mostly very, very positive, of course. Now, Immortals this time, money-wise, the funds have run out. They're lovely reign for the first three. Got some money in the bank. Good stuff. Now, not the case. You can see the approach from MOUZ Sports, very passive. You got Christian watching the boost from all the way back in case someone tried to make a play up towards Drop. Not going to happen.
Yeah, MOUZ Sport waiting it out, making sure they don't overcommit to anything and make stupid mistakes. And here we go, just using the agility to clear out the positions, forcing Steel away, pretty much textbook, take a drop control here for MOUZ Sports. And, well, of course, if they push in now, Steel has the opportunity to get a frag, but I'm pretty sure MOUZ Sports is aware of the situation, and he gets shut down.
Nicely done between MOUZ Sports as well. Always in the position to trade in. If that sees he did find one, there's always someone there to just kind of get back into it. And now the remaining player, KMG, going to have to be kind of clutching at straws to find anything in this. Very, very powerful round from MOUZ Sports. You can see they have such clear intent when they go for these sides. They're not throwing any fake punches or anything. They're going all in on this. So recovered very well once they go onto that buy. So good stuff from them. Rops leading the way thus far at the moment for those guys. But it's still early days. It's not exactly like he's breaking out ahead of the others. Which is what KNG could do as well for the other side. Yeah,
as you say, it's very simple Counter-Strike right now for MOUZ Sports, but if it's working, then that's fine. There's no reason to change anything. If the simple strategy of throwing at Immortals is working, then you can easily just save them for later on in the tournaments, because I'm absolutely sure MOUZ Sports have more advanced stuff than what they're showing us right now, but if it works, they'll try and fix it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be kind of looking towards if Immortals go back to the double AWP when it's available. Don't think there was any kills coming through there at the end. I think it just got found with the, I think it was P250. So I'm wondering if they go right back to the double AWP when it's available to them. I don't know if it is just yet, so again, curious to see if that's it, because it puts your CT side on a knife's edge, right? There's a lot of people, analysis especially, are very, very critical of the double AWP, but more and more teams seem to be going towards it, even on Cobble specifically, but still, they've absconded away from every AWP. I don't think they can even afford it here, so just a rifle buy coming in for the CT side. Still a Mac 10 as well towards LOL, so I guess you're just banging it in towards Drop, you know what I mean? You just go in, you're like, alright, screw it. If I get a kill, brilliant. Even if I just win Drop, perfect as well. So now, Rob's already working out towards Plat. Gonna be getting the molly down towards Coop. Nicely done, starting to rain it in, and now you can see the nades coming through. The smokes are coming out. Bolts, blinded, can't do much about this, has to sit back. This might be retake time, but the timing! He doesn't need to see them, but through the smoke, he finds another! That is perfect from Bolts, and KNG locks down drop. We've got a game on our hands, finally.
Let's see here. 2v4. Oscar with the AWP. Bomb is still dropped. There's one behind Rock. He missed the shot, and
Oscar.
that's Steel taking the frag, and now it's all on Christian. And this is pretty much mission impossible because this is not going to happen. And he is taken out. Immortals taking it out. And as you said, we got a game on our hands. These teams are trading round for round and both battling it out. And that is just perfect from Bull. Just holding that rock, getting double frags. Smoke doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think he saw the traces from Rups, but the first shot, there was nothing to give that away unless, we missed something there, his teammates saw it, but still, to be that precise, very impressive. And Immortals recover very well, so credit to them for holding that together. And bearing in mind as well, if KNG wasn't able to, completely keep control of the drop, that wouldn't have happened either. So it all works out well, and now we finally see a boost coming in. Now, I'm not sure if they've seen this. Last round, Christian was watching for this, but a dry play towards Platt coming out here, and that is something you don't expect. Oscar this time won't miss. He finds the opposite number, and now here we go. Finally, it starts to kick off a bit. Bit of a back and forth goes in, but finally, Mousesports break through.
This is back and forth because right now, Mousesports are just stepping it back now. 1v4. Oh, he's so close to getting that because that would have been the bomb. And Dennis now monstered up, but what if he hit that shot and hit the close range as well? 1v2 with the bomb down, but it doesn't matter. Mousesports bounces back and ties it up.
And I actually like that from Mousesports, going in without using any of their utility, almost just kind of taking the fights, not giving away too much of the game. Yep. Really well played out. Oscar hitting the first one. Because it's a topic that doesn't get discussed as much anymore because it's not as relevant because he doesn't choke at events. Oscar's really rounded out his play. He took a bit of a step back and he came back in so much stronger. But it always makes you worry when you see him miss a couple of sitters. You can tell he's a very emotional player. So you do wonder, will that affect him down the line? Looks like he recovered just fine into that round. So maybe you can see him really kind of developing as a more stable player overall. Yeah. So it's good to see here.
Yeah, and I think Mousesports, in the position they're in right now, is a very good platform for him to do that because there's not too much pressure on him, but there's no pressure at all. So it's kind of like that golden middle ground that he has right now, where he really can develop as a player and really can step into a bigger role in the future. But right now, of course, something that doesn't have a big role is Immortals in this round with only a couple of pistols.
We were saying it was back and forward in the rounds. Now the problem being for a CT side, kind of sucks when your money is in these back and forward rounds. For the teams, you can kind of suffer through it, right? You can always kind of cobble together a buy, excuse the pun, but it is now a bit of a problem considering it's down to pistols. A couple of P250s up, not much more. And lol there, gonna find one. I think they spotted another out on the side. Den's gonna charge for that. Nice and clean, almost no damage taken. Mousesports keeping them at arm's length.
Clean and easy. And Bolt and Henny trying to get the best of it right now. Hoping for a couple of exit frags here, maybe grabbing an AK and saving that. See, I don't think Mousesports are going to allow it because that's one thing I like about Mousesports as well. When they get into a bomb site and then that post-plant position, they are so well structured. They know exactly what everyone is doing and they're not peeking. They're just holding the positions. They're not taking any chances. And there we go. Actually, Lal goes in and goes for a peek, but gets Henny in, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Calculated risk. And Bolts will not get anything.
No. Gets away with P250 in his life. That's all you can ask for. There it is. So, at this point, Mousesports keep things all together. But I want to see if anyone really breaks into just stringing together rounds, because it feels like at the moment very back and forward. We've seen a lot of aggression from Mousesports. Double ops straight away. As soon as available for Immortals, they go straight to this, which I don't mind it because it does work so often, but it always terrifies me slightly. If you get put in a retake position, you're screwed. If you get put in any slightly bad position with it, you're in trouble. With an aggressive side like Mousesports, you're in trouble. With an aggressive side like Mousesports, straight through the window. They can be fast. Straight through the window. They just KNG instantly turns, spots one out. He knows more pressures on the way and spots one out. He knows more pressures on the way. Everyone coming around his plays calm, but not calm enough. Chris J double checks, but not calm enough. Chris J double checks, and he finds it.
Dennis is very low on HP, and this is where the lack of utilities is actually hitting them because they know exactly where the terrorists are coming from, but they can't flash themselves where the terrorists are coming from, but they can't can flash themselves in, they can use a Molotov to block something off, and now it's all down to firepower. Bolt and Lucas both got one announced, 3v2, and Dennis still below HP. Picks up one though. 2v2 bomb planted.
They've got another player on long. He got a kill. Didn't he? Yeah, it was okay. That's an interesting one. Bolt's alive. 1v1. Christian does have a molly, but where is that bomb planted? Right at the back of the side. He can get the molly down. He doesn't run away. He gets the shot. The molly comes in. It's not quite the bomb, but it will to it. That's going to be a lot harder to deal with. Even though Chris J is on almost no HP. There's so few options here. Bolt is going back in as well. 9 seconds. 8. It's taking down. And Chris J. He tries to make the peak in the last couple of seconds. But that clock is ticking fast.
I have absolutely no idea how far it is because I can't hear the bomb. It's looking like he's going to make it. The defuse there. And 5 is the storyline. So very tense game between these two teams. And as we expected, we said it as well. It was almost going to be a 50-50. And they're delivering right now.
It's going to be so costly for the CTs. They're going to have this kind of up and down game thus far. So you're going to see again. He's coming out. You don't have that kind of fallback plan. If you're down to one person, the opposition's getting bomb plant. These back and forth rounds become painful. They need to stabilize now and try and just smooth out the rest of the game. But again, you look at this. Round come back in with a better buy. They've got all the utility they want. They want the ASTRO on Oscar. I'm wondering if you see the distribution again as well. Chris J, they do take very side dependent, map dependent. Really want to see how this one pans out. So far, Oscar's had some really good moments in that one missed shot. But see if he can smooth out his game as well towards later stage of this map.
Really like Immortals. Even though they have a limited buy here, they're still saving on the smokes. They still have to go here because that's a mistake that a lot of teams do when they have this kind of buy. It's not perfect. They'll like full smoke out in the beginning of the round to eventual push, and then they'll be stuck at like 1 minute 30 remaining with no smokes whatsoever. This mistake is not being done right now by Immortals.
They are willing and they are in such a good spot. Lucas there just mows them down. The UMPs tear them apart in the MOUZ Sports side. I'm wondering how the hell do they know all of this? Robs was surely watching our back. No, he couldn't see it all, and that's how it happened. Immortals in the right place and at the right time.
Absolutely perfect round there for them, and that fully blind UMP 45 spray. What can you do against that? It's just nothing.
Because he had the lineup a second, but then it was the second kill that he got where he just runs in like da-da-da-da. What can you do?
Now MOUZ Sports are running this 4AK 1 Tech 9 kind of setup that is pretty common nowadays, but it all comes down to how you're going to use it. And if you're going to go for a quick push, which is what they're doing, this comes into play. Let's see Steel getting the first one. Nate comes in. Surely now he's holding the position, and Steel is doing work right now. He's doing work. He's getting every single frag and rotates back. Perfect round from Steel.
Yeah, a bit of a slam dunk
1 HP to survive as well, I think.
So nice there. Just played it out well. You can see him always wanting to go to the nade when he fell back towards window. He's like, no, they're going to try and push me. Instantly readied himself. First player was flashed. That's lol down, but the rest had a fighting chance, but he held that window like a champ. We know what happens at this window. It is a meat grinder if you just pile into it, and he just made the most of it. So nicely done. Immortals get themselves towards 7. 5-7 as we speak. And well, the money is finally depleted away from MOUZ Sports. If I had some good money in the bank for quite some time there, but now just down to those couple of Deagles, I guess, and a couple of Tech 9s, and maybe that's all you need.
Yeah. When you're Ops, that Deagle, it's everything.
It's an animal.
Lucas also goes down, so despite them having a bunch of pistols and nothing else, this is still looking like a good start for them. Good damage being done, but now Bolt steps in, takes out Robs, and that's all the aggression towards B now gone. Now Sports have to make a new game plan. Where do they want to go now? They have done some damage, they must know this, and they've got a kill on the opposite bomb side, so it's all on them. What's the plan here?
Well, I like the position from the Immortals, even though they haven't seen too much. They're playing quite deep in towards A, so they're not allowing themselves to be run over by pistols or, allowing these mistakes to happen where you fall and then, a rifle falls into someone's hands and it all spirals away. It's not a bad shout to be doing, but they're down to, 48 seconds? Ooh, KNG not landing the shot there, goes back in. Oscar goes down. But they have slowly worked, they have worked their way up middle, but now here we go. Lucas comes into it. That's a good shutdown so far. Only 1 kill really coming through from that push in the end, so good work from the Immortals.
Yeah, of course, these are rounds that Immortals should win, but I like the fact that they're winning them with such ease. It's not hard for them to do it, because that's the problem we see sometimes with pistols in CSGO, with P250s, with the Tech-9s, with the Deagles, that sometimes they can just win a round if the CTs don't watch out.
Yeah, exactly. If you get complacent in any way, you know you can be punished. And, well, these guys are keeping control of it. It seems like the Brazilian teams do have a good mindset for that. We look at SK as one of the teams who do it as well.
Yeah.
Even on their T side, they approach very nicely. Now KNG, that looked on him. Do it! The tag! Look at that, Oscar. You're gonna be reeling off that one.
8 HP to survive, and as we mentioned time and time again, that double up setup on Immortals on that CT side is working wonders for them right now. Oscar taken down to a very low amount of HP as they are trying to execute towards this A bomb side. Lucas in a great position in the middle of things, and KNG then holding the longer angle and tries to do the spray transfer, gets the first one, not the second, but still, good hold.
KNG's now in trouble though. He can't back away freely because they're pushing up middle. He's got support coming through finally from the balcony, but they could be anywhere by now. Lovely adjustment though. Chris J gets completely spanked back, and the follow-up is sublime. Spots another, and it's an absolute masterclass from KNG. You do not see that every day.
That was pixel perfect from KNG there. What a round from him. And it's what he needs. Let's be real. He needs to come into this team. He needs to make sure that he can do the roles that he's given, but also the roles that he wants to have in the future and how he wants to grow with this team. And right now he's showing that, yes, you have good AWPers. I'm a very good secondary AWPer as well.
That was so nice. So nice.
Auto sniper.
Is it out?
Here we go.
Oh, Lord above. Lucas, why have you got to do this to us? Why are you like this?
All right, here we go. Scrappy buy for MOUZ. Not a lot of utility on them.
Where is the auto sniper? Where is Lucas playing it? I'm kind of curious. I can't actually see the minimap. We're casting from the analysis desk. It's far away. But I'm sure we'll find out soon.
We'll find out. Henny with the AWP at Chicken. Misses the shot, though. This could be the opening. Rob's on low HP, though. Ball's close range.
Yeah, Boltso gets overwhelmed. Those Tech-9s come in leaping. Steel as well now going to throw himself into the mix. Spots one by Coop, gets the shot done. No, it was KNG to actually get this one through. Now Lol starts to flex into the situation, but it's all KNG. This guy, where is he coming from and where is he finding these shots?
Wow. Okay.
There he is.
This is not DE Cobblestone anymore. It's just DE KNG, because he is just mopping the floor right now with MOUZ balls. It looked very close in the beginning, and then KNG just decided to connect to the server and just wreck everyone completely. It's 3 or 4 rounds in a row where he's just taking everyone out.
I don't know what to say about that. The one round he did, the round prior, I was like, all right, that's pretty nice. That's not bad at all. This, though, from his perspective, let's see this. All right, up close shot towards a player pushing out drop. Peeking over towards stairs, very nice. Waiting for the next pixel of this guy. All right, there's something to be said about someone.
He knows exactly where everyone is. That's also the knowledge you have, also from the information from your teammates, but also the way that you structure yourself around the map and what positions you spot at the correct time. It's just perfect from him, and that's you don't see rounds that are played that perfect from players, because usually you gamble on a 50-50 and you choose a specific position. The other player's not there, and then you get shot in the back or something like that. This time, everything just works out.
Wow, I'm thoroughly impressed. We're actually getting a very good game here between these two. I'm liking it. I kind of banked a little bit more on MOUZ coming in with a little bit. I don't know. It seemed very straightforward approach from MOUZ. It wasn't that kind of tactical depth. It seemed very, very brute force-ish. And now here we go. Bit of a big hit comes through towards B plat, it seems. Good counterflash slowing them down, though. So now Lol can back away, choose a new position if he fancies it. Something he can actually back away with. And now Rob's going to be doing the same thing. We're going to see the smoke coming through to play. And Immortals have to hit the site now.
The push comes in, and Rob's in the perfect position on the back of the spawn site on Chicken Cube. Smokes are coming in from the terrace as well. Chris J, Dennis, both with 1. And now it's all of a sudden 3 terrace remaining. Lucas low on HP as well, trying to get into the bomb site, but nothing is happening where he's running in and dying. And all of a sudden, MOUZ bounced straight back with a perfect pistol round. Nothing done at all by Immortals. Very simple B push, puts a couple of smokes down, rushes into the bomb site, and gets nothing done.
It just didn't have the shots, it felt like. So sometimes I guess it can just boil down to something that simple. If you don't hit the shots, it just doesn't work out for you guys. But you got to feel it was just you were waiting for that trade to come in, or a couple of kills, and it was just literally nothing. It was a very, very flat round from the Immortals, but time to come back through this one. Hopefully they've got another couple of bits in store for us. As double stack towards long from MOUZ. Dennis is there. He's going to be caught off guard here. Yeah, right on the corner. The Tech-9s
the nade.
start to come through. Good nade connection. Look at that. The Immortals are in trouble, but so is Oscar. And there we go. 2 big kills come in for Immortals. They are wounded. They are weak. But
Do they
haven't
rotate back now?
committed. Yeah.
That's the question here, and it looks like it. So I actually agree with that rotate, despite, of course, the CTs are going to know this. But MOUZ already had a couple of players rotated on that bomb side, and already one going straight in towards long, holding that position when they came out through the smoke. So they're setting themselves up for a more advantageous duel than the one that they would have on the A side, despite opening with 2 frags. And they're still waiting out, running out this clock here. No utility whatsoever, an MP9, and then just a full Tech-9 train.
Rops, you're playing such a dangerous game, and yeah, they've just spotted him all. No, it's a disaster. They just explode towards the side. The follow-up is perfect, and there's nothing to be done. Christian's going to try and make something happen, but gets spread out. KNG, even if he doesn't get the frag, he's got the information, and that's more than enough for now. That's going to send the alarm bells ringing. And MOUZ, what a disaster of a round. Everyone seems to be caught off at the worst times when they pushed up on long, and Christian doesn't check it. There it is, steal.
You just feel for them, because everyone has experienced that thing where, okay, you spot at a position, you have you gone out for like 10, 20 seconds, okay, they're not coming, you switch to the nade, the exact second you switch to the nade, they just all pop off. And that happened for 2, maybe 3 players in this round here from MOUZ, but it's so hard to do anything against the Tech-9 that just comes rushing like that.
And look at the money as well for MOUZ now, it's pretty trashed. A couple of Deagles invested, P250s. Immortals have the upper hand here, but we know what these Deagles can do. We know what these guys are capable of. Rops already showed us that Deagle certainly got a little bit of fight to it, but still, Immortals, you've got to be smart in your approach. Just see if that SK sort of vibe can be attached to this team as well. They're so methodical on these rounds.
So MOUZ, just a couple of Deagles, 5-7 and P250. What can they do with this? Right now they're stacked on a correct bomb site. If Immortals are showing us their true strat here, if it's actually going to be in B execute, so that's at least something for them. And they're just holding back positions. They don't want to overextend themselves and peak too much, while Immortals is just using their utility to kind of block off and get the CTs out of the best positions. Flashes are coming in now. It looks like the push is coming.
Yeah, Christian around the verge of this too. They both line up, but he can't get the shot done. Bolts and Lucas keep this one rolling. Rob's not going to land an easy one here either. That's a problem. You want that first quick connection, back away from it? No. And again, we're down to 1 now. Oscar, that's 2. The 2's enough. 3 alive for the Immortals and around on the board, and that's the important factor.
And they're starting to take off now, the Immortals. Of course, having that great streak at the end of it, where KNJ just went off, losing the pistol, but then bouncing back straight after that. It has to be so hard for MOUZ to mentally reset themselves, because usually you use the pistol round to mentally reset yourself and say, okay, now we got it, guys. Straight after that, to just get Tech-9 due to individual mistakes. And it's so hard to bounce back from that. Like, what are you going to say to yourself? Like, okay, I'll just try again. Like, it's impossible.
There's no easy answer, is there? And for MOUZ now, time to recuperate a little bit. Maybe take a bit of a breather in this round. 2 P250s invested. Immortals, plenty by the side. A Mac 10 as well. Lucas looking to make a bang for his buck. Steele carefully backs away just as they start to emerge. But look at this. Henny already working his way up here. Gets a spot by the door. Very well played.
I actually like that, even though it might have been a mistake for that smoke, but it actually allows him to go in, because the smoke is still there blocking off, but he can get in close range without having the smoke, and then he can take that duel. And it works out very well for Immortals, who are now looking absolutely perfect here on Cobblestone and looking like to go through into the next game, because they're on 13 rounds now, only 3 away from a victory.
Yeah, this has probably been the cleanest game we've seen so far. If it keeps up with this pace, that is, MOUZ can certainly get back into this. This is the first time we're going to see again that really nice buy coming in.
Is Lucas going to stay on the Mac 10 despite his teammates having like plenty of money to drop in an AK, despite them knowing that it's going to be a full buy?
You're 13-6. If you do anything with that Mac 10, you're doing so much work. He knows that, well, they're not going to have head armor, they're going to have armor, but...
Yeah.
So he can do something. Even if you just get some sort of map control, it's a bit of a nuisance. Look how confident he is. He's just flying around. Now, yeah, he feeds Oscar, but he also sells the fact that it might be an A. He's kept 2 players very dedicated towards this. They don't know the information. They'll find out fast, though, because Bolt has found Robson now. Lol's put into the action. He's put in an awkward position. There's players left, there's players right, and there's one in drop, and he looks at the wrong one at the wrong time. And now we're down to 2 playing retake, and they were both the A players.
Yeah, and it works really well out in this round, because he tells the fake like that. So I'll take that back, and that was actually a really nice decision from Immortals there, going for that play and get the bomb down. 4v2. Oscar, of course, going to save his AWP. Dennis should do the same as well, and with his weaponry, and it's going to be 14 rounds from Immortals, and they have a pretty good bank right now, and they don't actually need to worry about money for the rest of this game if it just goes as it is right now. So, Immortals bouncing back into this one, and MOUZ Sports, we all backed them, and they're not looking good right now.
Well, it looked a little flat, didn't it? It didn't have any big rounds coming for themselves. There was nothing beautifully tactical about what they were bringing either. It just feels maybe a little lackluster. You know, it's the first group stage game for them, but still, you don't. Oh no, they've lost out on the AWP as well.
Wow.
What a disaster! How much money do they have now on the MOUZ Sports side? It's got to be pretty low. I think it was like
question.
4K max, I guess.
We're going to find out in a second after we see this replay here of Bolts just coming into the side, just completely clearing it.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that they peek out of drop zone at the same time as he's coming down from plateau.
And Immortals are almost on full money, and you can see MOUZ Sports is by. This is horrible to watch. MOUZ Sports are really struggling. Sound is going to be, information gathered though. Christian's going to hear all the steps towards the B platform, but what are you going to do to stop it now if you're MOUZ Sports?
Oh, that's a good beginning. But just as that happens, the rest of Immortals just bomb rush the bomb side, and Bolts is just doing work right now. 3v2. And a chance for MOUZ Sports to retake.
All right, they can do a boost. Who's boosting who? Get in there. Oh, no, he's too close to the ledge. That was awkward. There we go. All right. Christian makes it through. He can now do a little something, but there's going to be a player on the platform, and you know it, but no.
Nice.
Bolts wasn't all that aware of this being a possibility, so he falls. And now the next player on the stairs tries to take his timing at the right point, and now Lucas, oh, here we go, Christian. Let's do this. 1v1. I need to find bombs planted and ticking fast. He doesn't have much time on this. No kit to hand either. Oh, he's made a poor guess, a poor choice, and Henny positions well. And Immortals ruining that round. You can see Chris J frustrated, and you can't blame him.
Did such a good job up until that. Correct decision making, using the Molotov, actually forcing out the CT, playing that close range in an off angle with the Max 7 as well. Like, really nice round from Chris J, but in the end, in a 1v1, it's a gamble pretty much.
Yeah, you roll a dice, and sadly it didn't work out well for him. Finally, we get a double AWP buy, but it's still lackluster. MOUZ Sports' economy has been so shambolic throughout this entire game. You've got to feel that maybe if they had a bit more of a stable money situation through this, they could have done something more, but it's just not been the case. Now Lucas wants to take this one home, already lingering out towards Plat, but backs away from it. Smoke comes in, and Immortals finally have to slow down a touch.
Yeah, that's probably also like a calm and collected voice in the team just saying, don't rush this, we got plenty of time, there's no reason for us to give anything away. And once again, like as we talk, like it's kind of like they're the smaller brother of SK, which has the same like mentality to things. We don't want to give the other team a chance to come back into the game. We want to play this safe because we know we're the best team. And that's exactly what Immortals are doing right now. Just running down the clock, making sure that if the ZTs want to make mistakes, they're going to allow it, and then they're going to capitalize on it. If not, then they're going to do their own execute and focus on their own strengths.
KNG does have a molly left. There's a player in that. Ooh, nice shot from Oscar. No cheeky flank coming through. Lol chooses the time to back away well, though. Smoke comes out, and the hit looks pretty likely now from the Immortals running through. The molly's still burning, and it's not quite extinguished the fire, so they have to back away from this. Lucas moves away. Flash still comes through, though. They're still trying to sell like there might be some attention here, but with Lowell in this position, they get a lot of the info. 30 seconds left now. They need to make this hit count.
The bomb is rotating towards the other bomb site right now, and so is the rest of the terrorist team. From Immortals, and Bolt is in this perfect middle position here. He's going to have to make a lot of noise.
Oscar, no, you bank on hitting these shots, and there we go. Finally, oh no, it's traded. KNG is there. This is now looking terrifying. 9 seconds. KNG, what a shot, but where's the bomb? It goes down, and now a 2v2, and KNG is feeling this. Player in Connectory now knows it. He holds the angle. He gets the frag, and now one man stands. KNG knows where he is as well, but he doesn't need to do it. Lucas was there. And a definitive scoreline. Immortals looking very strong at this point. They came into that, it looked a little close to begin with, but MOUZ Sports gave him a second to breathe, and the Immortals just choked him out.
Yeah, and what a game from KNG as well. Like, he's the player that everyone wants to see here, and same as Robs is from MOUZ Sports, and he just delivered a monster game right now to take him out. That's absolutely insane from him. Yeah. The AWPing was on point, I have to say as well. Bolts did a really good job also. He's not one of the players that you highlight so